Knight is the latest Disney Plus Marvel show, premiered last Wednesday, March 30th. It stars Oscar Isaac as Stephen Grant, right? / Mark Spector.
Yep.
And Ethan Hawke is Arthur Harrow. That's kind of it so far, other than F. Murray Abraham, I think, voices Khonshu. No one else that's really like a regular in the show has appeared yet after this first episode.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like the first episode of Moon Knight?
I enjoyed the first episode of Moon Knight. I'm curious as to see if we're going to get... So we get a lot of the Stephen Grant view on things.
Yeah, so far it's pretty much only Stephen Grant in episode 1.
I'm curious if, maybe episode 2 we're already at Mark's side of everything that happened in episode 1, or if it'll continue and then like maybe episode 3 we'll get Mark's version of episode 1 and 2.
I don't think I need to see that.
I don't think so either, but let me tell you.
People do.
People do. People are still mad that the Hulk turned into Professor Hulk off screen. Like, we needed a 2-hour movie about that. And I'm like, did you?
No, man. You don't need to see literally every little fucking thing. Like, you can just kind of think about stuff or...
Yeah. Do you need to see Carol Danvers' haircut?
Know that it happened and just kind of be okay with that. Yeah, I saw people complain about like how during the scenes where he was like essentially doing like whatever fighting was happening in the episode, we didn't get to see that. But like, you know what he did.
Right.
Do you need the
details?
See the
aftermath.
Yeah, like who cares? Would it have been cool to see that? Like maybe, but like so much of that shit exists like already. Like I don't know. I don't understand that complaint. I think my dad would make that complaint probably, but
yeah, and they show there's clearly a transformation that happens at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
and that he's not aware of happening. So like, it'd be more confusing to see the guy change to somebody else immediately.
I think so too. Yeah, I think the way they've been telling it is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
interesting. Yeah. So if you've not seen it, Stephen Grant / Mark Spector turns into Moon Knight, who is like he protects those who travel at night, and that's like the line of like what Moon Knight does in the comics. But in this, I don't think they're really going the way that he just does that shit. He's like a person who has dissociative personality disorder. So Stephen Grant is basically not a real person, but we don't know that yet. In the first episode, we only see him as Stephen Grant. But I think we'll come to learn that Mark Spector, for whatever reason, has created this person.
Assumedly Mark. Have they called him Mark yet?
Yes. Yeah. Because everybody, remember, like he got the phone call from the phone in his wall.
That's right.
She was calling him Mark.
The woman calls him Mark. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
there was because he has a third personality as well.
I think he's supposed to. Yes.
Yes.
But
Jake
Mark
or Jacob or something. But
Mark is
Mark
who he
and
actually
Steven so far.
is. But in episode 1, we only really see him as Stephen. And we're introduced to the character as Stephen Grant being like who the main character of the show is. But I'm pretty sure Stephen Grant was just created by Mark Spector. Again, for whatever reason. I don't know how they're going to go about doing this, but it's really interesting. It's kind of like more horror elements, I would say, than most of the other Marvel shit on TV has done. It seems a lot more like geared towards that in the way they've shown like Khonshu and stuff. Like he's terrified of something that it's funny because he's definitely had interactions with this thing before. But he just doesn't know it. He's like horrified of it, but he's already like its enforcer, so to speak, which like, I think it's a very interesting direction. Where would you put it as far as like first episodes go?
It's so out of left field just because it's the only character we've never had
in a movie. Yeah, it is true, right?
Like there's a brand new Marvel character that's never been in a movie or TV show.
So for that, it's the best one.
So for that, it's easily the best one.
It's in a league of its own.
Yeah, it has to be probably the best first episode just because it's giving you the most information.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
I would say
delivering it efficiently.
Yeah, for me, this is up there with like the first episode of WandaVision. The ones I really, really liked. I think it's better than the first episode of Loki.
Yeah, but if you didn't know anything about Scarlet Witch though, and you watched that first episode of WandaVision, okay, what the fuck am I watching?
I think it works the same though, because you're so just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you're just kind of like, you're sucked in by the mystery of it all. You know, you don't need to know who she is at all, I think, to watch that. I think actually, if you don't know who she is,
I know a lot of people didn't.
If you don't know who she is or what she can do, it might be even better.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I think this first episode is very, very good. I hope it continues being good. I mean, that's really all we can hope for. We've only seen 1 out of the 6. I'm also sad these shows are only 6 episodes. That's not enough.
It's better than going on too far like a few of the Netflix series did. It's safer to have you wanting more than going, man, why was this that long?
Yeah, I'm excited for Wednesday.
Same.